And now, it's time for Comfort Time Live. Comfort Time Live. Comfort Time Live is a call-in show where you can call in and discuss air conditioning, heating, energy savings, indoor air quality, and dealing with contractors. Comfort Time Live. And now, here's your host, your personal comfort consultant, tackling all of your home comfort issues. Here he is, live on your radio, Tom Platania.
Hey, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Comfort Time Live. This beautiful Friday afternoon in sunny South Florida. I am Tom Platania, with my compadre helping me push my buttons.
Oh, yeah. Hi there, folks.
Mr. Cliff with a 1F, Desmond.
That's right. And that's right. There's only one F in Cliff.
Oh, God, I hope there's only one F in Cliff. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, another great show for you today. Lots of great information we're going to provide to you this afternoon. But once again, let's tell you a little bit about what Comfort Time Live is about, and this way we can make sure we utilize the services that we provide here to the best of your ability. Comfort Time Live is a call-in talk show, 340-1590. What you do is you pick up the phone, you dial the number, 340-1590, and you ask us questions, comments. You tell us about things that have happened in your home to help other listeners become better educated about what's going on. Even if it's not necessarily a question, if you want to make a statement, maybe you've been through a situation with somebody in your home and you want to let everyone else know how you handled it and how successful you were at resolving the situation. Maybe there's some bad things that happened to you and you want to kind of talk about that. You don't have to give your real name. You can pretend your name is Cliff or Joe or Frank or Betsy or Susan.
No. If you use the name Cliff, nobody will think it's me because I'm here. So.
Well, just say I'm Cliff with 2 F's.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or maybe 3 if that fits the situation. Yeah.
But share your knowledge, share your experiences, share the things that you've had successes or troubles in, and let everyone else learn from them, because that's what the show's about. Anything to do with your home. My background and specialty is heating and air conditioning. That's what we started on the show. But we have guests all the time that are specialized in other areas, such as we've had Florida Power and Light on the show. We've had H&R Block. We've had home inspectors. We've had real estate companies. We've had mold remediation, drywall companies. We've had air conditioning manufacturers. And we are going to have a home inspection company coming up here in February to talk to us more about home inspections, the things to look for, what are the good things, the bad things, what are some of the most severe things that we should concern ourselves with, especially when buying and selling a home. And maybe you've owned your home for a while and you've had a home inspection a long time ago. It does not mean that it wouldn't benefit you now to kind of look at, because a lot of things have changed. So that's what Comfort Time Live is about here on WPSL. You can also go to the website at comforttimelive.com, and you can actually watch us live in the studio. We're streaming live audio and video. There's a little chat room next to you there, and it just gives you multiple opportunities to educate yourself and to learn and to share experiences with other folks, to ask me questions, and if I don't know the answer, well, I'll ask Cliff. And if Cliff doesn't know the answer,
I'll make something up.
There you go.
And then you can guess whether it's true or false. Oh.
Deal or no deal.
Hey, we ought to try that sometime just for fun. We could get a contestant,
right,
and then you can create a scenario, and then ask me if it's true or untrue, and you can guess whether I'm going to be right or wrong.
There you go.
See, that down the road, that's going to be a very valuable contest tool.
I like that. Well, we can use trivia questions, and we can, with the trivia questions, we're going to be able to perhaps give away some generous prizes from one of our new sponsors. and we're going to be
And
bringing
I
up.
could give you ridiculous answers to those trivia questions, and you can guess whether whether I'm telling the truth or if I'm making it up.
Well, you know what that would be is that would kind of be like our listeners dealing with the contractors out there.
Sure, try me. Try me with a
same
question.
concept.
I'll play the unlicensed contractor. You try to be the consumer.
Okay. It's okay to put an 80 amp breaker on a 5 kW heater.
Why, sure, we can do that because it'll cost less. Of course, you would never want to turn it on, of course, because might be some side effects. But for the most part, sure,
That's good. Okay.
Save money.
And I heard rumor in this town that I don't need to worry about pulling permits.
Oh, that's right. We don't have to pull the permits as long as we do it on the weekend when the inspectors are home snoozing.
Oh, thanks, man. I'm sure glad I asked you.
But these are the type of things that are said out there, though.
Absolutely. And you're licensed and insured, right?
Oh, sure, I am.
yeah.
Yeah, let's just get the work done. Go ahead and just give me a down payment of about. Let's say we'll start out about $5,000, and then I'll bill you for the rest.
Okay, and don't worry about a receipt. That's okay. I trust
Right,
you.
receipts are not
Yeah, I trust
necessary.
you.
Just
Yeah.
Extra papers to throw away.
And you'll be back tomorrow?
Why, sure, most certainly. Now, if it's not tomorrow, it might be a day or two.
Oh, okay.
But 2 or 3 weeks down the road, I'll be getting back with you.
And do you want me to call you, or are you going to call me?
Oh, I'll call you.
You'll call me?
You don't even
Great.
need my number.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm
Well,
honest.
I
So right on my card it says "We are honest" on our card. You ever seen a card that says that?
Yeah, I've seen a car.
I wonder why do they have to do that?
There's actually a company out there called Honest AC.
No,
Yes.
really?
And
And we're not talking about them.
no, not talking about them. But here's one. There's an air conditioning company out there, and I'm not saying anything about the owner or whatnot, but when you see this riding down the road, what's the first thing that you think of when you see Sharky Air?
Oh no!
And a giant picture of a shark on the side.
Oh, well, I got a big kick out of seeing the CRS truck. When I see CRS plumbing, hi guys, we love you, but CRS, I love it, and they love it too. Probably it probably means something else, but CRS stands for can't remember stuff.
There's also a company out there called Wolf Air.
Really?
Yes. It's now understand that these are people's last names.
Yeah.
But when you're looking for a name of a company that's going to be pleasing to the eye, sometimes you might want to just stop and think to yourself.
Well, I think I would trust somebody named Wolf Air quicker than I would trust somebody that would say, or even Honest, because when it's a name, it's a name that you have to build a reputation on, and if there's.
But when you look at it, you don't know that that's the owner's name. All you see is the word wolf and a picture of a wolf on the side.
Oh.
Okay, well.
And then there's a picture of a rabbit and a chicken over there trying to get some air conditioning put in their coop.
I mean, you just think. I mean, we hear the saying, wolf in sheep's clothing. I mean, that's the first thing I think of when I see that. And then you see Sharky. Well, all these sharks are out there getting you. And so it just catches you. And I'm not saying they're bad companies or anything. I'm just saying you stop and think to yourself. The other thing that just cracks me up. Car salesmen get a bad rep, right?
Oh, yes.
They get a bad rep that
you want to buy a car? I'll sell you one.
They're shysters, the used car salesman analogy. Well, when you hear mafia music and stuff in the background, you kind of get a little twitch too, right?
Yeah, and De Niro walks in and sits down, and you're in trouble.
Right, so you don't get that warm, fuzzy feeling that's going to be a legitimate transaction.
How can I help you? Make it fast.
So now let's combine those two.
Okay.
And we'll make a radio ad on it.
Ooh.
Well, it's out there.
Really?
There's a car commercial that got like mafia sounding people doing the ad. It's like, whoever the
we don't have any competition. What are you talking about, competition?
And they constantly say, "Forget about it."
Forget about it.
And it's I don't know.
Here today, gone tomorrow. We'll see to it.
It's just amazing. But what we have now is we have a company that I've been doing some consulting with. They asked me to come in and do some NATE certification for their technicians. So I've been doing training with them. I've been helping them with other things internally. And we kind of sat down and said, what could we do together to help each other out? Well, the problem I've been running into doing the radio show is if I'm not out in the field all the time, constantly keeping up on product and technology and things and codes
and people,
then I kind of get out of the picture. So what I had to figure out is how can I stay on top of things and keep out in the field and keep seeing the issues that homeowners are having on a daily basis.
Because they change.
Absolutely, all the
And
time.
you've got to be ready to change with them.
I mean, I found one today where I haven't seen this in a while, where and the outside unit was actually built up on a wooden platform on the side of this house because you don't see them that often.
Right.
So it's things like that that I had to find a way. How can I keep on top of it? So, talking with Ranger said, well, how can I help you? Okay. And how can you help me? So what we decided is Ranger wants to be a sponsor for the show. And what we did in turn is they're going to allow me, the consumers that call them from the show, they're going to allow me to go out to those customers and actually be part of doing the process. So if you're looking for someone to come out and take a look at your home at no charge.
Right, because now you are a consultant. However, in this case, you're working as a consultant for a company, and they're going to offer a free evaluation.
Right, we're offering free evaluation for me to go out there. It's no charge. Now, it's not a technical analysis where I'm not coming out with all kinds of gauges and things like that.
Right.
I'm going to come out and make a knowledgeable, educated decision on circumstances within your home. Let's say you're thinking about replacing your heating and air conditioning system. Maybe you have some problems with airflow in the house. Maybe you got some hot spots in your back bedrooms. Ranger is going to allow me, when you contact them and let them know that you're a Comfort Time Live listener, they're going to allow me to go out and be part of that transaction. And this way I can, one, please the listeners. Now, listeners have trusted me for many years to educate them. I plan on not getting away from that. I plan on this helping me to become better at doing that, because this way, the things that I let them know, the new codes and everything that I'm going to make sure I'm right on top of. But also, they're going to get that confidence level that they have me, who's giving them this information on the show, actually the one that's going in their home and providing them with that information.
And knowing you've got such a knowledgeable person that you already know, you can always sneak in a few extra questions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And and the other thing that I would feel homeowners would have confidence in the listeners is that, well, I not going to do anything that I shouldn't be doing. Because I'm here live on the air.
Right.
So the chances of me, which I don't.
Well, you got to maintain
like
your own reputation.
Exactly. So when I go out there, I have to maintain not only my reputation, Ranger's reputation, but honesty, integrity through that homeowner. So that's what we're going to do from now on. I think that's going to be a good direction for us to take Comfort Time Live. We're actually going to be able to get to the point where now that I'm streaming stuff through my own Comfort Time Live, I'm actually going to go out and do videos of Ranger doing maintenances and doing installations. So you're going to be able to go to ComfortTimeLive.com, and I'm going to have these things of us actually doing videos of an installation on a heating and air conditioning system, a maintenance on a heating and air conditioning system.
I'm going to make you real proud now, because a lot of people that listen to WPSL, they watch WPSLTV.com. Well, Comfort Time Live, we're streaming straight to ComfortTimeLive.com. So when you go to WPSLTV.com, you'll see a picture of Tom Platania. You click it, takes you straight to ComfortTimeLive.com.
You're awesome.
So if we're on the air, you see the show live. And if it's not on the air, you'll see the last show.
You're awesome. I appreciate that.
You like that?
I like that.
I knew you'd like that.
I like that. You're a good man. You're a good man. So we're going to talk a little bit more as the week comes on. Now we're going to officially have some ads starting through this week with Ranger. But anyone who calls, and I'm going to give you the phone number after we come back to the break for Ranger. But as you know, you can always go to Comfort Time Live, and you can click on Contact Us, and then it'll go to me. So when we come back, we're talking about air conditioning warranties and special financing that's going on right now through the end of January. You're listening to Comfort Time Live on WPSL. I'm Tom Platania. We'll be right back.
And now back to Comfort Time Live. Once again, here's Tom Platania.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you're kicked back in your comfortable chair, or maybe you've refreshed your beverage. About 11:24 in the afternoon. It's getting pretty close.
11:24 in the afternoon.
Or morning. Yeah, you know, when you get up so early, it's afternoon.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, that's it. But refresh that beverage, kick back, relax. Give us a call. Do not be shy. If you're at work, tell your boss, hey, I got an important question that I need to call these guys up and ask.
And you need to know this too, boss.
There
so
you
let
go.
me call.
340-1590. Give us a call here at the studio. Or you can go to comforttimelive.com, turn the volume down, and you can watch these two wild and crazy guys in the studio.
No! Who said we were wild and crazy guys?
Some of us more wild and crazy than others, but
that's right. Oh, and don't you forget it.
Oh boy. So we're talking about warranties and we're talking about financing. Now, the first thing we want to talk about is warranty on most of your heating and air conditioning equipment that's out there from the manufacturer and directly out of the box, which means that they open up the box and there's they have to register. Nowadays, what most manufacturers have been doing is requiring the homeowner or the heating and air conditioning company that does the installation to register the product.
Oh, no.
On a Friday.
We're in trouble.
Line one, Mr. Throck. How you doing, buddy?
Well, hello. It's such a nice thing to be able to speak to you on a beautiful Friday.
This is historic, isn't it?
Well, I wanted to tell you a story, an air conditioning story, if I may.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That I think you'll find quite amusing. I'm in charge of several large buildings. I can't mention for who, of course, but I was summoned to this one department, and they said to me, "There's a noise in the wall. I want you to find out what this noise is." So I went to investigate immediately, of course. And can I reproduce the noise on the air for your listeners?
Oh, that ought to be fun.
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Can you do that noise?
I can try to reproduce this noise.
Okay.
It sounded something like this. It went... And I said,
Sound
what
like
the
a
heck is that?
Squirrel cage that needs a little WD-40 or something.
They they said, well, you must look up into the ceiling and see what it is. It seems to be emanating from the wall, the ceiling. And so I immediately went outside of the building, wanting to get away from the noise and the people involved. And I noticed you can hear the noise from outside as well. Well, I immediately went up to the roof, where I have a very large unit up there. You need to know I have a large unit.
Now, does that usually stay on the roof, or you carry it with you?
Well,
anyway,
this unit is so large. Oh Lord, it's about the size of I'd say, a semi-truck. You can stand in this unit.
Okay.
Wow.
So I was standing. The closer I got to it, the noise became louder and louder. What the heck is this noise? So I peeked inside. There's several blower motors in this unit. And one of them, as the term is called, was singing quite loudly. I immediately called the HVAC department, and they investigated immediately. Apparently, what had happened was that one of my licensed contractors had over-tightened the belts.
Aha.
Oh.
Now, can you over-tighten belts to a blow-to motor? Oh, absolutely.
Where it can like
Absolutely,
bend
you
that
can.
shaft just a little bit. Yeah.
So there should be a little bit of slack. They were so tight that the 2 quarter-inch threaded rods that were holding the motor in place were snapped off.
Wow.
That's tight.
Needless to say, and this was a licensed, well-known contracting firm that we hire.
And
Do this
unfortunately,
work.
they're only as good as the people they hire.
Well, we thought
He didn't
maybe
wanna go
half-inch slack on each side of the belt while this was rotating. I believe it was
Yep.
a 5-horsepower motor, quite heavy to bring up
Yeah.
to the roof.
Right?
And we replaced the motor, but the moral of the story is, of course, don't over-tighten your belts. It will cause your motor to sing.
Well, you know, we should have known he was going somewhere with this.
So I just wanted to tell your listeners to keep an eye on your contractors, even though they're licensed. Please watch what they do.
Educate yourself. That is absolutely it, Mr. Throck. The great Throckmorton. You are a stud.
Education is very good to have. I'll leave you now, and
You're a good man.
that's the rest of the show
All
is
right.
Thanks,
exciting
Throck.
just now.
All right.
Take
Thanks
care.
for your input. Well,
There he goes, the great Throckmorton. Wow.
so just like the great Throckmorton, ladies and gentlemen, you can give us a call at 340-1590.
You can Google him, you know.
If you could Google him to see what he looks like. He's a character.
The great
He is a
Throckmorton.
character. But yeah, and you know and I could probably take that technician that went out there, and I would bet dimes to donuts that he's probably never been properly trained on how to tighten belts.
Really? I mean, you don't think about belts when you're talking about AC units.
Well, a lot of these guys, now you're not going to have a belt and an air conditioner unless you're looking at big commercial stuff like with
Huge.
Throck.
Yeah, he said you could stand up inside this.
Yeah, well, it actually doesn't have to be huge. I mean, this one was gigantic,
Right.
but there are some that are they're smaller than that. They're a little bit larger than a residential system, but they have belts in them. But you know, if the guy's not properly trained on belts, you would think that, well, gosh, when I tighten this, I got to make sure it's nice and tight and snug.
Right, like you would under a car hood.
But it's not the case. There's got to be a little play in that so that, you know, the vibration and whatnot doesn't do exactly what it does. But
That vibration went right down into the wall, and it seemed like it was coming out of the wall, they said.
absolutely. So, you know, and that's why, you know, even though the guy, it's a licensed contractor, one of the questions I would ask them is, you know, how often do you train your people? You know, when's the last time that you've actually had them do some factory training or technical training? Because that's important. I mean, I know licensed contractors that, you know, the last time they did training was never.
Oh.
They don't go to training classes. They have their kids take the online test to keep their contractor's license up. I mean, constantly, when I was a manufacturer's rep, I'd go to contractors and said, hey, we got this training class coming up. It's talking about the product that you install every day. And hey, you've had some warranty calls that are some concerns for us, and I'd recommend that you come to the class, and maybe it's going to help you cut down on some of the warranty calls, because it's not the product that's causing it, it's how you're installing it. I ain't got time. Your product.
With all the people that are unemployed right now, it's hard to believe that there are people with attitudes like that anywhere.
It's so to Throck's point is, and the only one to blame is you if you don't ask the right questions. You can't assume nowadays, especially because that's where these guys take advantage of, is because if we assume that something's happening and they know, well, gosh, they're not going to ask me that question, so I don't have to worry about it. Why carry my liability insurance and all this stuff with me? I'm just going to tell them that I'm licensed and insured. They'll never ask to see it. Okay, well, I can tell you that I'm licensed and insured, and then when you question me and corner me and say, well, I'd like to see it, now what am I going to do when I actually don't have it? So anyway, so back to the warranties. So the warranty for most manufacturers, out of the box, they require the product to be registered within the first 60 days. Some of these companies now, if you do not register it within 60 days, it automatically goes to 5 years on all parts and 1 year labor. Now, the labor is actually through the company who installs it, okay? The parts warranty is through the manufacturer, okay? So whether we're looking at Train or Carrier or Goodman or any of those, typically the warranty is through the manufacturer themselves. Now, if it's registered, some manufacturers are different, but most of them, all their parts warranties go to 10 years. Now, that's not commercial, it's residential. Commercial's a whole different ball of wax. So a contractor installs the air conditioning system. Most contractors that I know of, they do the warranty registration for you. They go online, they put the information in, they register it with the manufacturer, and you're covered. I think most people do that for their clients, because if we left it in the client's hands and you forget, you're going to get mad at the contractor. So that's why most contractors just do it themselves. However, these limited warranties have a lot of exclusions, okay? They don't just cover everything, so if this part fails, well, why did that part fail? All right, so I'm going to read you some of the exclusions here real quick that have to do with the heating and air conditioning system when it's installed, what the exclusions are of the out-of-the-box warranty. Labor costs, including but not limited to costs for diagnostic calls or the removal and reinstallation of products and or product parts. Okay, so which means if your compressor fails after the first year, the manufacturer will give us the compressor only, just that casing. It does not pay for the labor, which usually takes about 4 hours to do a compressor if you do it properly. So you got 4 hours worth of labor. That could be $85 to $100 an hour. Okay, so let's say $100 an hour, we're looking at $400. The manufacturer out of the box does not take care of the refrigerant that's in that system. Now, the refrigerant is like the blood in our veins, and the veins are the copper tubes that go from inside and out. They do not pay for the cost of that refrigerant. Your average system could have 7 to 10 pounds of refrigerant, and a company could charge anywhere from $30 to $45 a pound. So let's say $40 a pound. Okay, at 10 pounds, there's another $400.
So that's $800 already on top of the warranty?
On top. Well, no,
okay.
This is out of the box. So
okay.
$400 for the labor, $400 for the refrigerant. So right now we could be up to $800 potentially. And then you have a couple other parts that you should replace if you're a good contractor. There's a little thing that's called a filter dryer. It's actually just like your air filter, but it's for the refrigerant. When you open up those copper lines, debris and stuff gets in it from the environment. So this little filter dryer should be replaced. Some manufacturers do not give you that part. It's not a very expensive part, but it's another cost. Let's say another $50 to $100. Then there's some electrical components that you should replace. So you could be looking at anywhere from $600 to $1,000 to replace that part, even though it's under warranty.
Wow.
Because the manufacturer does not handle it. Shipping and freight expenses required for the part. If the manufacturer doesn't have that part in stock and they have to ship it from someplace else, the manufacturer sometimes will not pay for that out of their pocket. They'll say, well, if the homeowner wants to wait 5 to 7 days, we'll ship the part in, then you can replace it. It all depends on the dealer. The contractor may go ahead and just eat that, or there's ways around it, but they don't have it. Failures, defects, or damage, including but not limited to any loss of data or property caused by one of the following. A third-party product. So they have these things out there called heat recovery units. And what it does is, it was a really big thing of the past.
Right.
What you do is you run your water heater through there, and it uses the heat generated from the air conditioning system to heat your hot water. And it gets mounted on the outside of the house, but what you have to do is cut the refrigeration lines in the unit, outside unit, and run these tubes through there so that the hot gas from the outside unit would run through these pipes to heat the water up. They call them a heat recovery unit. They helped with the efficiency of your water heater, cut down on some cost there. However, it robbed from the efficiency of the heating and air conditioning unit.
Oh.
Well, if you put that in there and that system fails because of that product, the manufacturer won't warranty your equipment, and you got to pay for it out of pocket. Any use that is not designated or intended for the product, modification, alterations, abuse, misuse, neglect, or accident, if you're not properly maintaining the unit, any violation of written instructions. So if there is specific instructions on how that system is to be installed and the installing contractor does not abide by that, the manufacturer can, if they wish, refuse to warranty that product. Any acts of God, including but not limited to fire, water, storms, lightning, earthquakes, or any theft or riots, which the lightning is a big thing in this area, and the theft is a big thing in this area.
No. Who would want to steal air conditioning units?
But your homeowner's insurance should help cover some of that stuff, the acts of God. I think check your homeowner's insurance to make sure that if you had power failures or surges or strikes like that, if the air conditioning system was damaged due to that, double check with your homeowner policy, because sometimes the homeowner's policy will pick up where the manufacturer's warranty does not. So you want to check that. And know about this stuff ahead of time, because I see so many people that call us and they do it after the fact. And now they're panicking, they're rushing around, they're trying to get air conditioning or heat. You know, they make rash decisions just so they can get something in there, and it ends up costing them money in the long run. Ask these questions and keep the documentation close by. They will not, for a corrosive atmosphere or contact with corrosive materials such as chlorine, fluorine, salt.
Salt's big on eating up that.
Absolutely. So if your unit is out on the ocean and it fails within 5 years because of the salt corrosion, the manufacturers will not warranty that product. Now, there's definitely ways you can do it. If you live out by the water, within a mile of the water, there's actually companies, it costs, but there's companies that will actually put a special coating. They'll dismantle the outside unit and dip it in a special, it's a product, there's one product called Blygold, and there's a couple other products, but they'll dip the unit that helps protect it from the salt corrosive spray. It costs a little bit of money, usually about $100 to $200 per ton to have it done. But, you know, hey, if you can get an extra 4 or 5 years out of the unit.
Oh, sure, you're saving that money.
Yeah, you're saving that money. You know, anything of recycled water, sulfur. You know, a lot of these folks that have groundwater, they use the well water, and they get that sulfur. Put a little protected box on your sprinkler head so that when the sprinkler head goes that way, it blocks it with these little things. You get them at Home Depot And this way it doesn't splash on your condenser because that'll eat away at that. Just like the brown spots you see on your driveway and stuff.
Yep.
It'll eat that unit up in a heartbeat, and the manufacturer will not warranty that product. So now all this information comes with the data, and you can find it online. I actually found it online, and I'm going to post it on ComfortTimeLive.com. But, this stuff comes in the package when you purchase a new heating and air conditioning system, so it's nothing secret. Always ask your dealer or contractor. But a lot of this stuff that we've just gone over would be negligible, if not negated, if you purchased an extended warranty on your heating and air conditioning system. So 340-1590, give us a call. And if you have any questions on this, but the extended warranties on the heating and air conditioning systems are different than, all these ones that you go to these big chain stores and people are trying to sell you these warranties on products that, I'm going to sell you a warranty for 1 or 2 years. Well, I'm not going to have a problem with this product in 1 or 2 years. So to me, it's a waste of money. But the extended warranties on products can be anywhere from 10 to 12 years. So that means that for 10 years or 12 years, depending on the manufacturer, anything except for an act of God that goes wrong with this thing, and some of these other things we talk about, having sulfur blowing on. You got to use your common sense. But as far as the freight cost and the labor cost and all those refrigerant costs, you don't pay for any of that. You don't even pay for the trip charge, and that's what it said here. Labor cost for diagnostic calls or the removal and reinstallation. If you had an extended warranty, even the diagnostic call for the technician to come out and find out what's wrong is covered, and it's worth its weight in gold. Now, some manufacturers are all different. These warranties can range anywhere from $300 to $1,000. Just depends on the manufacturer and the contractor. But know the warranty on your product, and you can always get that online if you're going to decide to purchase a product. Don't sign that contract right away. Do your homework. Give us a call on the show. Email me at ComfortTimeLive.com. And we'll go through this. We'll educate you. We'll make sure that you have the right information to make the right decision. Okay? We're going to go ahead and take another quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about Ranger Air Conditioning, and we're going to talk about financing specials that are going on through Wells Fargo through the end of January. You're listening to Comfort Time Live, 340-1590. Give us a call. Check us out. $3.2 billion per year are stolen from unsuspecting homeowners who lack the proper education to deal with home contractors. Hi, I'm Tom Platania with Comfort Time Live, heard every Friday morning at 11:05. Comfort Time Live is an independent call-in talk show focused on educating homeowners to protect themselves from unlicensed contractors as well as less than honest contractors. Go to ComfortTimeLive.com to see all our recorded shows, watch us live, or view tons of information to protect and educate yourself. That's Comfort Time Live every Friday morning at 11:05 here on WPSL.
WPSL 1590 presents CBS 12 Storm Track Weather.
CBS 12 Storm Track Radar tracking some isolated showers. Skies will be cloudy on this Friday. Very cool with a high only near 70. Strong cold front moving in this afternoon. Colder tonight. Lows near 40. Inland areas upper 30s. For the weekend, mostly sunny but quite cool. Highs in the 60s. Overnight lows in the 40s. That's through the weekend. All the water boaters increasing northwest-north winds late this afternoon. Small craft caution flags will be up and through the weekend too. In the CBS 12 Storm Track Center, I'm meteorologist Chris Farrell for WPSL Digital 1590, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
It's live, local, and fun. The WPSL Morning Show with Mr. G and newsman Charlie Neild. Weekday mornings from 6 till 9 on AM 1590 WPSL, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
And now back to Comfort Time Live with Tom Platania.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Talking about warranties on your heating and air conditioning system. Check with your manufacturer. You can go online. Doesn't matter which manufacturer that you're thinking of purchasing. You can just go on if it's carrier.com, train.com, lennox.com, and educate yourself. Do not, no matter how much you think you trust your contractor, don't.
Now, for the most part, contractors are okay, but as any business, there can always be little loopholes and elbow room problems that you're going to find anywhere. So always be ready for that.
Well, the thing is no matter how much you trust somebody, if there's ever a problem and it comes down to it, it's always going to come down to why didn't you do your homework?
Right.
You know, the contractors, they make mistakes, but if you're educated about the situation, you're going to be more knowledgeable and you're going to be able to catch things before they happen. So I just see it so many times that it happens, and people say in the end, oh, I didn't know that. Well, educate yourself. Give us a call. If you have a question, I'll find the answer for you. I'll do the research. I'll do the legwork. I got a pretty good understanding of where to get information for you. So give us a call or click on Contact Us on Comfort Time Live and ask the question on there. Go back, look at the archives from our show. If you click on the archives and you go back and look at them, maybe there's something specific that you wanted to know. And if you listen to that show through Comfort Time Live, you may be able to find the answer right there for you. So quite a few opportunities. Now, the financing going on. Now, there's special financing. Wells Fargo offers financing for heating and air conditioning systems to be installed in someone's home. Now, they have all different programs. They can have programs of 9.9% APR, and what you would, as the consumer, you would pay 1.75% of the total investment amount. So let's say, for instance, you're looking at a $4,000 air conditioning system, okay? And let's see, 175, you'd be looking at a $70 a month payment. And most of the time, you'd probably end up saving more than that on your energy bill. So you'd actually end up making money back by having a new energy efficient system installed, getting the rebates and everything, financing it through Wells Fargo, and the payment's so low that you would actually be able to double up on the payment, probably still save money, get it paid off quickly.
Oh, yeah.
They have a 7.9% APR. They have a 5.9% APR. And a lot of people don't know that they can do this, that they can finance this. Now, the nice thing about the Wells Fargo is it's actually a little home projects Visa credit card. So once this is paid off, you always have that account open, and if you ever need to make any more home improvements, you can use that card for anything. The nice thing is that they offer special promotions all the time. Now, right now, Wells Fargo is offering through Train, and only through certain Train dealers, not all Train dealers, they're offering a 36-month equal payment, zero interest.
Ooh.
Same as cash, basically.
36 months, same as cash?
36 months, zero interest.
Yeah,
so
that's a lot of money.
You can take, let's say we're looking at a $5,000 system, divide that by 30, whoops. Let's divide
Give
that
it
by
a low interest rate.
$138.
Yeah.
That's with zero interest, and at the end of the 36 months, that system is 100% paid for.
Wow.
Well, depending on it, I was at a client's house yesterday. The amount of money that the payment was, they saved more on their energy bill than what the payment was going to be.
Wow.
And that's it's like it's almost free then. If I'm making more money back because of the energy efficiency, I'm making a free payment on the system basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because you had to pay that much for your electricity bill anyway.
Yeah, I mean these people were paying $400 and $500 a month. Kind of like
I believe
you.
that. I had 2 months last year that was $600 light bill.
And you know, and what you have to do is what I mentioned to this homeowner. I said, let's look at your lowest electric bill that you've had this past year, and let's look at your highest electric bill. If you subtract those two numbers, that is your air conditioning system. Because our lowest bill, we're not using heat, we're not using air conditioning.
Right.
Okay? During the peak of the summer, when we have the highest electric bill, that's when we're using our air conditioning at its peak. So if you subtract those two, and a good installation on a heating and air conditioning system, depending on what you pick, can save you anywhere from 40 to 55% on your heating and cooling cost. So that's huge. And if you're running a $500 electric bill and $300 of that is your air conditioning system,
Exactly.
you're going to be saving over $150 a month minimum.
Yep.
One of the neighbors that I had, the house I was living at before, we installed an 18-SEER two-stage system. He saved $215 a month on his electric bill.
Wow.
And he called me back and kept telling me, he's like, this is another month, and it's just amazing. He was paying like $300 a month for his electric bill, and it was his air conditioner.
Yeah. Yep.
It was the air conditioner that does it. That's 59% of your total energy bill according to FPL. So check it out, ladies and gentlemen, because and they've gotten, believe it or not, they're not extremely picky on the financing, on the credit here. They've been a little lenient. So it doesn't hurt to give it a shot, because a lot of times the payment will be less than what you would save on your energy bill. And so in a sense, it's almost like you're buying a free air conditioning system because your energy costs are paying for it. So find out from your contractor. Now, this program, the 36 months, same as cash, is only through Train, and they call them Comfort Specialist Dealers. So they are the elite Train dealers. Now, Ranger, who's one of our sponsors and that I'm working with, they are part of this program. So if you give us a call and tell them that you heard about them on Comfort Time Live, and they will specifically provide me with that information, and I personally will be coming out to your house to take a look at it. So you can rest assured that you're going to get genuine information, you're going to get honest information, because I don't want to take a chance on ruining my reputation on this show because of it. But you can give Ranger a call at 772-546-7777. 546-7777. 38 years in business. They've been around for a long time.
Yeah, they're doing something right.
And they've been a top Train comfort specialist for over 10 years. And I tell you, it's not easy. I've seen a lot of people get to be a Train comfort specialist, but I don't see a lot of them keeping it, because there's a lot of requirements. There's customer satisfaction surveys. You have to have over a 90-some% in order to stay as a comfort specialist dealer. And if not, they kick you off the program. You have to have NATE certification, which I'm the proctor for. You have to have that. So there's a lot of requirements to be a comfort specialist dealer.
If you're NATE certified in this area, Tom might have been your proctor.
Absolutely. And if you're not and you want to, give me a call. I'll be more than happy to sponsor your training and also provide you with the information. So check out the financing through your contractor. Wells Fargo is not the only financing opportunity out there. There's other financing companies. Home Depot has some special financing. Lowe's, I heard Lowe's is selling air conditioning systems now.
Gee, I wonder why.
And
supply and demand.
And you know what's really funny is it's Train that they're offering through Lowe's now.
Oh.
And it's real funny because I was with Train when this whole thing came about where Home Depot started offering the Train product. And you saw little by little how Home Depot wanted to start taking control of the whole process. Oh. And not allowing certain things to happen. Well, rumor has it that Lowe's has taken a little bit different approach. Instead of allowing the contractor to be in control of the sale, to be in control of the installation, Lowe's has one of their employees go out with the contractor. So Lowe's is a true representative of that installation.
Right.
And the contractor as a subcontractor. Because on the Home Depot side, the contractor was actually going out there with a Home Depot badge and Home Depot aprons. And it's almost like they were pretending that they were Home Depot. And people were kind of confused about that.
Home Depot did mine.
Yeah, you had to have all these badges and stuff like that. But the Lowe's is handling a little bit differently. So Go into your local Lowe's and ask them about that. And I kind of like that. I really do. That they're taking a little bit more of an upfront approach to make sure that the quality is there, because that was a big thing on the Home Depot side. Some of these contractors were licensed, but they were, as we say in our commercials, they were less than honest contractors.
Slightly below the honesty level preferred.
Yes. So all this information you can find on Comfort Time Live. You can find it anywhere online, Google it, or you can just listen to the show, ladies and gentlemen, or give us a call at Ranger Air Conditioning at 772-546-7777. And tell them you're a Comfort Time Live listener, and they will specifically set the time aside for me to stop out personally at no charge. Take a look at your heating and air conditioning system. And you know what? Even if it's just to take a look at it, to make sure that it's up and running at the best possible condition, to make sure that it's not causing any energy wasting opportunities or anything shortening the life of the system. You give them a call at Ranger, and they'll go ahead and work with me to help you take care of that. So 546-7777, Ranger Air Conditioning. Tom Ranger, when you look at him on the website there, that was probably about 30 years ago. They took the picture of him. I tease him there for it, though. But the good man, I've known him for many, 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 many years. And him and the folks, Ashley and Ron, the general manager, just some great folks, and really do their best. Everybody makes mistakes, but the great thing is that they do their best. Tom has meetings every Thursday to sit down with his technicians, go over issues that they've had, what can they do better, and I respect that. Very rarely do you ever see companies that do meetings like that on a weekly basis. So don't forget. So talking about your warranties, you can always go back to Comfort Time Live if you missed any part of this show. This show will actually be playing on the main page because I have it set up now where the last show rotates.
As soon as the show is finished, we're recording it, and as soon as it's finished and we stop it, it starts playing over again. And, and you can catch this show that's on right now on ComfortTimeLive.com all week long until next Friday.
Until next Friday, we'll be back here at 11:05, and we'll be talking about when we have scheduled our home inspection company to be on the show. Hopefully, we'll have a definitive date and time.
All the rest of the shows that have been recorded already are in the archives at ComfortTimeLive.com.
Yes, they sure are, up on all new pages. The only thing I'm working on is those links on the front page.
Okay.
So thanks again for listening to Comfort Time Live, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, if you have questions, comments, suggestions, if you're stuck, if you want to deal with a contractor but you just don't have that warm, fuzzy feeling, go to ComfortTimeLive.com, click on the link that says Contact Us on the bottom left-hand side. Send me an email. Give me your questions, and I will answer it as honest as I possibly can. And if you don't mind, maybe we'll even talk about it on the air so other folks can have that information as well.
Your problem might be the same problem someone else is having, and in your contact with this show can help others.
Absolutely. Well, again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to Comfort Time Live. I'm Tom Platania. Have a great weekend. Stay warm.
Stay tuned for our afternoon programming. Starts at 12 o'clock noon with CBS News, followed by Rush Limbaugh for 3 hours, and then Tom Sullivan. And, of course, today's Friday. There's some high school basketball over on our sister station later on. This is WPSL Port St. Lucie. Comfort Time Live is one of the many reasons why we're the talk of the Treasure Coast. The time right now is 12 noon.